Welcome to another episode of Backpass Tactics. We build backwards and transition forward because every goal begins with building from the back and passing forward. Let's talk about how I would line up Kaizer Chiefs if I were the coach. So we're going to start with the goalkeeper position. As usual, I'd put Petersen as the goalkeeper. And then moving on to the two center backs. When all the center backs are fit, I believe Miguel can play as the right center back and then Aiden McCarthy can play as the left center back. In the left back position, we can have Pasega Mako. In the right back position, we can have Monyane. And then in the left central midfield, we can have Taboqele as the central midfielder. On the right side of the central midfielder role, we can have Oxumtetwa. And then the attacking midfielder position, we have Maboe. On the right side of the wing, we can have Mayo. As a striker, we can have Igotaro. And then as a left winger, we can have Glody Lilepo. So this system is a 4-2-3-1 formation. So this is how I would play Kaizer Chiefs if I were the coach. Obviously, a player like Monyane would be pushing up higher up the pitch as a right back. He'll be pushing up high the pitch. He'll be overlapping more than Pasega Mako. So Monyane can be overlapping and then he'll play those 1-2 passes with Mayo. And Mayo can almost tuck in as a striker when Monyane is on the wing side when he overlaps. So Mayo would sometimes tuck in as the second striker when Monyane is drifting wide. And then when it comes to the left back position, Paseko Mako would be inverting more than overlapping. So he'd be mostly inverting as a left back that's inverting and almost playing towards the midfield position. So he's cutting in. He's not necessarily overlapping like Monyane. This will allow Lilepo to occupy the wide space and then Marco and Lilepo will be combining, but it will be mostly Lilepo occupying the wide space. And then we have Oxumtetwa. Oxumtetwa, unlike how Nabi plays him, I'd play him as a traditional number 6. So he'll be in front of the back two. Of the two center backs, I mean. He'll be occupying the space in between the box-to-box and the attacking midfielder. So Oxumtetwa's role in the team, since he's not a ball-playing defensive midfielder, his job is to just disrupt play. Instead of making progressive forward passes, he'll be playing the ball back to the center-backs, or Taboqele can come back into the deep position and receive the ball so that Oxumtetwa has a passing lane that is closer to him as he passes the ball. And then Taboqele will act as the box-to-box player. He's the one that will be moving forward and going back. So Cele is the box-to-box midfielder. He's the one that will sometimes be overloading the opposition team. So Taboqele comes back to receive the ball from Oxumtetwa and he can carry the ball to someone like Maboe, who's the attacking midfielder. So Maboe and Cele will be occupying the central space forward. So sometimes when we are pressing the opposition team, Cele and Maboe will be overloading the backline of the opposition team. This will give the pressing lanes enough space for them to capitalize when the opposition team makes a mistake. And then a player like Igotaro will just be sitting in the box as a target man. And Igotaro is the type of striker that is a target man, although he can play the ball, but I prefer him to stay in the box. Because if Igotaro stays in the box, this means that your players like Mayo, who will be tucking in, can offer the through ball to Igotaro, and then Igotaro can be one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And then you can also have Monyane, who's overlapping on the wide side to put in crosses that Igotaro can feed off. And then on the opposition side, we have Lilepo hugging the touchline as a winger. And the reason why Lilepo is hugging the touchline, unlike Mayo, who's cutting inside, is because if every player cuts inside, the opposition team will just be compact. They will just be marking in the central passes of the pitch. But if Lilepo is hugging the touchline, this means the left back will have to decide whether they follow Lilepo towards the touchline or they stay compact. If they follow Lilepo, they leave space for a player like Cele to push up and overload the team. If they don't follow Lilepo and remain compact, it means that Lilepo will have more space to play wide because there will be less players tracking his runs on the wide side. So in this formation, a player like Maboe can sometimes also overload and come into the third as a second striker sometimes. So when Chiefs has the ball and they are counter-attacking or there's a cross coming in from Lilepo or on the Monyane side, Maboe can also be in the box to overload the opposition team. And then in terms of the two centre-backs, because we know Oxem Tetwa is not a ball-playing number 6, we'll be relying mostly on Aiden McCarthy as a left centre-back to carry the ball forward when he receives the ball from Oxem Tetwa, because Oxem Tetwa is not very good at passing, unlike Aiden McCarthy. And Aiden McCarthy is a ball-playing centre-back. This means that Aiden McCarthy can play a long-range pass. He can progress the ball forward. So Oxem Tetwa's job as the CDM is to either pass the ball to someone like McCarthy who will progress the ball forward, or someone like Cele will act as the ball as the person coming back to receive the ball, so that Oxem Tetwa only does short passes. Because we've seen every time Coach Nabi tries to play Oxem Tetwa as a box-to-box player, he knows how to break up the play. He knows how to win the balls in the opposition side of the half. But in terms of making those forward progressive passes, he often struggles with this. So for him to be more effective, he should stay in that number 6 role. So this is how I would play Kaizer Chiefs if I were the coach of Kaizer Chiefs. Obviously, some of these players aren't match fit. Some of them are still injured. But once everyone is fit, I feel as if this would be the best starting 11 for Kaizer Chiefs. That's it, folks. Like, comment, share, subscribe, share with family and friends. I'll be right back like Reece James, hopefully not injured and having proper vocal cords.